My name is Patrice Honoff and I've been teaching English for a number of years at Gordon Vale State High School. I teach all English classes. I have 5 English classes ranging this year from Year 9 through to Year 12. I've been teaching the novel then to my Year 9 students, and the main themes of the novel are war, loneliness, persecution and racism. Many of the characters in the novel die, so I thought I could use this context to teach the students how to write and present a eulogy. So what are our learning intentions for today? Very simply, they're to explore the conventions of a eulogy. What are conventions? They're ways of making things work. My goal was to teach the structure and language conventions of this text type and focus particularly on generic features and nominalisation. So what I'm going to do today, grade 9s, is I'm going to show you a little bit about my own life, and from then you're going to write a eulogy on the life of a character from our book. Because many students would not be familiar with this kind of text, I decided to model and present a eulogy I wrote for my grandmother, and to have the students analyse the language conventions as I move through the text. It has been said that grandmothers and roses are much the same. Each of them can be described as God's masterpieces with different names. This analogy is exactly how I would define my grandmother, a masterpiece who is a delightful blend of sharp wit, wonderful stories, laughter and love. What is the purpose of me writing this? You can see on the side I've given you some key questions. The purpose is to tell people about who my grandmother was, to fill in the gaps they may have. Okay, the very first thing I want you to do, grade 9, is I want you to pick a character who you're going to write the eulogy on from the book. So number 1, I want the name of your character. Think about the characters we could do a eulogy on just from our own experience. Genia would be great. Zelda. But I want you to please do a PMI on my eulogy that I wrote. So that is something positive about it, a minus about it, and something interesting about it. Okay, the next thing I'm going to ask you to do, please, is I'm going to ask you to create biographical details of your character. Who are you going to do? Who have you decided you'll do?
Amon or Cheo.
Amon. I would suggest you do Amon.
Yeah.
So why don't we think about a surname for Amon? Oh, we know Amon's surname. Who remembers it from the book? Amon Kurtz. Very good.
I'm going to do Mr. Kroll. So Jacob Kroll, he's 54, born in 1888. He has a Jewish wife and she was taken away to a concentration camp, and Mr. Kroll takes all his anger out on the Jewish children because the Nazis come and take the children away.
Yeah, it was really good because it can give us a good idea of how we need to put it all together and what parts of their life we need to write about. And
I have been to a few funerals before and I've sort of had an idea what a eulogy was, but I've never sort of seen one, visually seen the write-up of it and that sort of the structure of it.
yeah, it's pretty fun because we get to learn more about the characters and write about who we want to choose, and yeah.
Yes, I was pleased with the lesson today. I was a little bit worried about the length of the eulogy because I know that really it should have been longer, and I was quite mindful and I kept trying to look up and watch that the kids were following the script, and from what I could see they all seemed to be. I didn't have to speak to anyone about being distracted or talking to anyone else. So yeah, I was happy with it. I could see that they seemed to be quite excited about embracing the next task, and that was a really nice feeling.
What are the benefits and risks of personalising the teaching content by drawing upon your own or your students' lives and experiences? How can teachers design lessons or programs that develop learning, thinking and creativity?